Now, in this starting application I prepared for you, we start on that authentication screen here. And that screen shows a form which already got an HTMX attribute on it. And in there I got some inputs which also have HTMX attributes on them. And I'm only using attributes here which you already saw earlier in the course. To be precise, I added those attributes so that a post request to /login is sent if the form is submitted. And in addition, I'm sending post requests to /validate if one of those input fields changes. And that's important. The post request on the input field will be sent when the input changes because that's the default event to which HTMX listens. And an input field is treated as changed if the user entered a value and then does something different. For example, moves the focus to a different input field. In that case, this post request to /validate would be sent. I then also make sure that I target this paragraph here, which comes after the input, so the next paragraph in line, for the response of this post request, because this post request, which is handled by this route, will lead to a response that either includes an error message or nothing if the input is valid. And therefore, I want to make sure that I either show the error message between those paragraph tags here or nothing if there is no error. That's how this application works at the moment. As a result, if you reload here and you enter an invalid email, for example, just test, then you should see that an error message is showing up here. However, what you'll also see is that if you enter some invalid password, which basically means that you enter a password that's too short, you also get email address is invalid here. And that, of course, doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, in theory, I prepared this validation code such that I want to return a password-specific error message if the password is wrong. But for some reason, that doesn't seem to work. And that's therefore the first thing we'll work on. We'll tweak the request that's being sent to validate to make sure that we attach the right data. Because as you'll see in the next lecture, the problem we currently have, the problem that leads to this incorrect output, is that the wrong data is sent with those requests.